for helping out today.
What up, Flap?
Flap Cuckoo! Big ups, too, to Art Cruz, who is the drummer for Lamb of God. This is Chris Adler. I mean, he was a longtime drummer for Lamb of God. Art Cruz is now the current drummer. He's sitting in on the 8G band. That's Seth Meyers' band over at Late Night with Seth Meyers in a couple of weeks. I guess he knows one of the writers or producers or something. It's Fred Armisen's band, technically. He's the house drummer for Seth Meyers' band. But they have people sit in all the time. So Art Cruz from Lamb of God is going to be sitting in a couple of weeks. I think for the week. So that'll be fun. What were you saying? Did you say something?
No.
You sure? You didn't say anything about Flap Cuckoo?
I just said Flap Cuckoo. I just shout him out. Flap Cuckoo.
Yeah, all right. Guardians are set to play tonight still. 7:10. This is lasting longer than I thought it would, this inclement weather here. Alan, I like dusty green beans. See, that's a nice callback.
I don't.
It's one of my aliases.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I recently used one of my aliases. You know, I have a lot of them that I'll kind of commit to memory if I'm out of town or if I'm somewhere where it wouldn't really matter if anybody knew my real name, but I just want to throw something in. You know, sometimes I'll, like where I'm staying in a hotel for my daughter's high school graduation party, which is this weekend, and so I'll register under one of my aliases. Delicate Watkins or Max Payload or, you know, something like that. Florian Casserole is the one that I used for this weekend. But Dusty Green Beans is one of my aliases. And they're available for anyone to use, by the way. That person clearly had an affinity for Dusty Green Beans, but you can, Art Triple Garden, you can use that. Poon Hair's Width.
Ew, come on, man.
You can use that. Clumpy Fromage. Whatever you want to do. These are yours for the Boomy Fidaster. If I'm at a convention, you know how often I find myself at a convention of professionals.
Often.
So many times, and I want to up myself. I'm Dr. Elgin Glimrimple. Barnabas Tahoe, Tux Flamingo. All of them, they're out there. Yeah. So one by one, they'll make sense. Alan Cox Show After Hours line. You can always leave us voicemails there. 216-986-8903.
Hey, Alan. I heard you talking about how you believe that people eat because they're bored. I totally agree. And I have a friend who calls that when you're eating just because you're bored, she calls it snacktivity. And I just think you might enjoy adding that to your vernacular. Hate the show.
Snacktivity.
I like that.
Yeah. No, we'll always ask our daughter. She's 6, and she'll say, I'm hungry. And I say, are you hungry or are you snacky? I don't want to say bored, because I grew up in a house where bored was a bad word.
Yeah.
So I don't like using that word around her either. But I'm like, are you hungry or snacky? And 9 times out of 10, she'll say snacky. And I'll say, well, then let's not worry about it. I'll cut you an apple
kind
or
of
something.
a hunger?
Huh?
No, kind of a hunger.
No, I think people snack when they're bored. Because if you're hungry, you'll eat. Snack is like, you've said it. You go, I can't watch TV without eating something.
I can watch TV without eating something.
No, you said.
I said
your words.
I don't.
I know you physically can.
No. I don't. Whenever I'm watching TV, I'm not always eating something.
Oh, I don't know. You made it sound like you've got like.
I just said that the two go hand in hand very nicely. So like, if I'm going to have a snack, or like, then you there's times where you go, oh, I'm gonna watch this and eat this, and they go well together.
Yeah, because it's mindless.
But it's
like
not,
you just kind of.
Yeah, but it's not like every time I'm watching something, I'm like, I don't have food here. I can't watch this.
Okay, well that's good. I mean, what I inferred is that you made it sound like when I'm watching TV, I like to have something to snack on.
See,
and I assumed it's not. It's the people aren't sitting there with bowls of grapes.
Grapes.
They're elbow deep in a bag of chips, and chips are great. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I
like chips, but I don't eat a lot of chips.
I'll eat an entire bag of chips.
I can. I just try. That's why I don't buy them.
We usually have dinner right after we get home, so about between 7 and 8, we'll have dinner. So after dinner, we'll go sit and watch TV, and we've watched a few episodes of a show, and it's 10:30. I am not hungry for another meal. But it has
Right.
been 3.5 hours since my last meal, and I would like a snack.
That's too late to
kinda
eat.
What I'm talking about.
Like where you're
Shouldn't
not,
be
you
eating
don't
that
want
late,
a
though.
full meal, but
you're not having anything crazy.
You're out there
just-
counting your macros and you're eating at 10:30 at night?
no, I'm not. But I'm saying not on this diet, or
Okay.
I can if I account
She's
for
talking
it.
about
But
having a nice light snack, like some potatoes and gravy, or
raw potatoes and gravy.
Yeah.
It's a
Raw
different.
potatoes.
What I like to do is I like to
healthier
cut a
that
raw
way.
potato in half. I don't peel it or anything.
Nope.
And I dip it in cold gravy.
Easier
And then
to
I'll-
bite than you'd think.
Well, sure. It's crunchy. It's delicious.
No, but when I am dieting, I will cut up an apple or get some strawberries or grapes or whatever fruit.
When you're like on
Okay.
a real strict diet and you have that like last little snack of the day, it can be like
So
the
nice.
best thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have some strawberries.
I love strawberries, and they're really good right now. You just have to eat them in like 2 days.
Jesus, I was going to say, my daughter mainlines strawberries, and I'm like, because first of all, they come in massive containers.
A pound.
Because the strawberries are the size of your fist.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, I'll get strawberries, but we have to eat these. Like, they can't sit there for 2 or 3 days.
We
you
bought-
got to get them right away.
We went grocery shopping Sunday, I think, and the strawberries, I'm like, I got to throw half these out because it's today. I went to go cut some up to bring in for lunch, and I'm like, these are no good. These are like they looked so good at the store on Sunday, and I was mistaken and didn't eat them until then.
You got 48 hours.
Really?
And my wife's got all these hacks. She's like, put him in a mason jar and we'll put the lid on. And he'll keep them. I go, it maybe keeps, what, an extra 15 minutes on these things?
Right.
You know?
That's like bananas, avocados, the same thing where you get an avocado and it's hard as a rock when you buy it, and then you have to hit that point where it's nice and soft. If it goes past that, it's all brown and gross, and you're like, okay, why can't you just be a good fruit?
Yeah, I don't eat avocados, but you always got to buy green bananas. Learn that.
Well, they sell some bananas where it's like, if you want a banana today, you get this one, and they'll sell them in a pack where they're like various
Stages?
of green. Yeah, like one that you can eat that day to one that will be good in 3 or 4 days. That's nice.
I don't like
Avocados are-
anybody telling me how I got to eat my goddamn bananas. Eat this one now and eat this one now, eat this one tomorrow. Don't you tell me when I eat my bananas.
Suggested you eat whichever banana you want.
Crunchy.
They had
Oh, it's just a suggestion.
word in the Philippines for unripe banana called palakpak.
Pluck putt?
Palakpak.
Pluck, okay.
And it's just like the flavor of an unripe banana.
Were they too expensive at times?
Watch Bam Bam on YouTube to find out.
Hey!
Bill Squire, Bam Bam. Almost 10,000 views on there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Hey, good for you. They have solved a cold case murder in Willoughby after 42 years. Thanks to
Yep.
DNA. I like how they wrote this.
Happy to help.
Thanks to 21st century DNA technology. All right. 25-year-old Nadine Madger had been stabbed to death in 1980 by a man who died 4 years ago.
Jeez.
It was determined that the killer's blood was on her shirt, but in the 80s, DNA wasn't in any database until currently, I guess. They had to go back and whatever. She was stabbed more than 40 times in her apartment. Her husband, she's married, her husband found the body, and her son was just an infant, unharmed in the playpen. I don't know what the motive was or anything like that, but I don't know if they worked together. I don't know what it was.
The motive was murder.
Yeah. But 1980, you know, you watch these true crime things, and I'm like, how did anybody ever get arrested for murder in the 80s, in the 70s? You know, I think that's part of what's fascinating to people where they go way back to like the Green River Killer and Ted Bundy and all that, because these guys were just operating with reckless abandon. Because unless you were standing over a body with a knife in your hand, it would be real easy to not get caught. I can't believe
And then if
anybody ever got caught for
If they
murder.
would accuse somebody, they'd be like, Ted? You think Ted Bundy is killing women? Okay. All right. Get out of here, you crazy broad.
even now they say no body, no crime. Like, you can try a case that's circumstantial, but that's a real crapshoot. Even with DNA technology, they're like, we don't have a body. Where's the body? So But those old crime stories, I'm like, God, it's crazy that that anybody ever got caught for murder. There's been some real dopes out there. Tell Mary to get PB2. That's what Gwen eats.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
Peanut butter?
It's like healthier kind of stuff. It's some, yeah.
The only thing that the problem with peanut butter is just the fat content. That's it. And I'm only doing this for a couple more weeks. And then I'm going to go back to...
What's in a couple weeks?
Nothing. I just wanted to reset my system.
Oh, I see.
Because I was off the rails for months. So I'm only going to do this. I'm 3 weeks in
This
now.
just to kind of get back on track and then just try to maintain.
I'm going to
healthy-
start working out
person.
next week. So I did 3 weeks of just the diet, and then I'm going to do 3 weeks of diet
Start
and
working
exercise.
out right now.
I can't.
Drop it. Give me 20.
I can't.
You
I think
can't?
I cannot do 20 push-ups. If you tried,
Not in
if
a
you
row.
gave me $1,000, I couldn't do 20 push-ups.
Not in a row.
Just get the 20 at some point.
Do
today.
one now
Yeah.
and then do another one tomorrow and
like-
then do another one.
Do them in
No
sets
way.
of 3.
I don't even think I could do 20 push-ups with my knees on the ground.
Yes, you could.
I don't think. I
You
really
could do
don't think that
30
I
with
could.
your knees on the-
I don't think
What?
that I could.
Do you have
I
any
not-
strength north of your waist?
I have not worked out in no joke, dude. Like 9 months.
I know, but
Like,
on your knees, you could crank out 20 push-ups.
it would take me a minute. I couldn't get them done quickly. I would
Huh.
have to take a break at probably 7, and then 10, and then 12, and then I'd have to take 3 breaks before I did
That's what I'm saying.
20
Just get there.
push-ups.
Okay,
But yeah, I wanted to restart the system,
I understand.
and then we'll add in the working out.
I get it. You can't exercise your way out of a bad diet.
Correct.
Yeah. Alan, I eat a lot of ghost peppers. That's paranormal snacktivity. I get it. Often when your body is telling you you're hungry, you actually need water or something. That's what you said.
That's what I said.
Have a
Drink-
glass of water.
Drink a glass of water, and
it's
then
funny.
if you're still hungry, you can eat.
I think that's funny, too, when you see these articles about, like, here's a diet hack. Have a big glass of water before every meal. It's
yeah.
like, yeah, of course. Put other things in your body first, and you won't eat as much.
Weird.
You'll feel waterlogged all day long, but, you know. That's a weird thing, too, is it's kind of like half the time they're going, drink a ton of water. And then you'll read something, doctors say people are drinking too much water.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are, but there's plenty of people that aren't drinking nearly enough.
Yeah,
They
that's true.
say my go-to rule of thumb is that it's half your body weight in ounces. So if you weigh 140 pounds, you should drink 70 ounces of water a day.
They say that. That's a lot of water, boy.
That's not that much.
This thing, my water
Maybe for
bottle
you.
is 32 ounces.
So you just drink 2.5 of those over the course of the whole day.
Yeah, whole day.
That's
I
not
know,
that bad.
But that's when you get up to when you go to bed.
Yeah.
But most people are going to compress it to like when they're at work.
Right.
Like I don't take this home with me, you know.
Right.
so-
Well, this big one that I have is mine's 25 ounces. So yeah, I drink 4 of these a day.
yeah.
And that's still way more than I probably need to. I weigh 140 pounds, so whatever. 30 ounces more than I need to, but
Oh, hey, a horse out at MGM Northfield Park. A horse drowned. What? One of the a horse named.
All right, this is sad, but I'm also glad they finally took my suggestion to do horse swimming.
polo? Isn't that horse swimming?
Did you write them a letter and say, guys, something to consider?
I just tweeted them.
A racehorse died Monday night at MGM Northfield Park. Walked into a retention pond and drowned. What is a retention pond?
It's a pond using for retending things.
You retain
Yes.
your information in there? Right?
Uh-huh.
Apparently, didn't
Yeah.
retain the information as to how to get out of a pond and not drown.
The horse was retained.
A racehorse named Alfred Hanover, Boomy Fedaster was this horse's name, drowns in the retention pond after a race. Harness a horse, escaped from his handler, ran to a nearby pond. So this horse, it's like it almost wanted to get away,
Yeah.
and it drowned.
Well, it sounds
So now
like,
the venue's like, well, now we got to put a fence around the pond.
what do they always say about bodies of water? Whether you're at a pool or,
Don't put a horse in it.
Well, like a lot of public pools, they'll have a sign, and one of the rules is no horse
Horse play. Lifeguard on duty. No horseplay.
And that horse has such a big mouth. You can't do mouth to mouth with it.
No. Too many
Nope.
gaps.
So,
Can't form a seal.
Right.
R.I.P. Alfred Hanover. He was only 2 years old, but got a lot done. And he's survived by a wife, Debbie, 2 geldings, Hoof, Hearted, and Ghost Zapper, and a newborn foal, Bodacious Tatas.
Aw.
So had a whole family.
At 2.
At 2, he's born in Manchester, New Hampshire in 2020 to his parents, Slump Buster and No Soup for You. He went to the Birchwood School as a pre-glue major and then got into professional racing. So really, he packed a lot in.
He had a full life.
Pardon me? Is that me?
Siri.
Am I talking to myself? Oh, okay.
You can lead a horse to water.
But you can't make him swim.
You can't. That's so sad, though. That's very sad.
Yeah.
I don't like to hear that. Because it's not just the horse. It's the trainer. It's the family of the horse, wife Debbie, as I mentioned. The owner and the trainer and the... But I wonder if it was a matter of, after a race, there are vet techs who need to kind of keep an eye on these animals and make sure that they train them to kind of go through a certain protocol. And I wonder what happened there. Ran away from the handler, ran into a pond. It must be a deep pond, by the way.
I mean,
Horses
For a
aren't that
horse to
tall.
drown in it?
yeah.
Yeah.
You can just walk through.
And
10
usually
feet.
horses can swim.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe it got
Remember
stuck.
when they used to do horse diving?
Yes.
You ever see the movie Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken? And the girl was blind, and she's like, I'll do it by feel.
Yep.
And she's able to still horse dive. And the whole time I'm watching that movie, I'm like, why are they having horses jump off of super tall platforms? This doesn't seem like a good idea at all.
Nope.
This shouldn't be anybody's dream. Like, my goal is to jump off a platform riding a horse. Stop that. Stop the whole activity.
Whatever happened to her? Gabrielle Anwar was the girl in that movie. Remember?
Oh.
She was foxy back in the day. She was like a big deal for a while. She was in...
I don't know.
They did it.
Remember her.
She was in like the '90s reboot of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, but she was in like a Michael J. Fox. She was the chicken scent of a woman. Real cute. I think she was a young girl when she was in Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken. She's cute. I got to take a break here.
That was 91, I feel like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm thinking of something else. If you want to go see Rob Zombie, this is a great lineup. It's Rob Zombie and Mudvayne. I think they're doing a co-headlining run this summer. Static X and Power Man 5000, keeping it in the family. Spider One is, of course, Rob Zombie's brother. All of them at Blossom. August 3rd, it's a Wednesday night. You can go to livenation.com if you want details on it. If you want